So in this video, we are discussing another important lesson in 8th standard, that is Mauryas and Kushanas. So in this chapter, we are discussing what was the contribution given by Mauryas and Kushanas, and who are the famous king, and who established by the particular dynasty, and any special contribution they given about art and architecture, religious matters, or administrative system. So these are the matters we are discussing in this video. So first of all, we want to know in that first dynasty, that is Maurya dynasty. So this is the first dynasty in India. This is the Maurya Empire. This is the first empire in India. They started to rule in the place of Magadha. This is first dynasty. Maurya dynasty is the first dynasty or first kingdom in India, and they started to rule in the place of Magadha. And next they say, here we can see some of the important famous kings. So who are the famous kings we can see in that time, in that kingdom or in the dynasty? So first one here they are saying Chandragupta Maurya, second one Bindusara, and third one Ashoka. So these are the important kings we can see in the dynasty of Mauryas. And next one we want to know, who is the founder of Maurya dynasty? The founder of Maurya dynasty is Chandragupta Maurya. And we can see this about of Chandragupta Maurya, we are getting information also. Megasthenes is a Greek ambassador. So when he came to India, when he visited the India, he mentioned in the book of Indica. So Chandragupta Maurya is the ruler of Maurya dynasty. So we are getting some of the information. He is the founder of the Maurya dynasty. So these likes. So on that based we can say the founder of Maurya dynasty is Chandragupta Maurya, based on evidence of Megasthenes Indica. Now we want to know next one point. Now commonly we are discussed or we understood about major points about Mauryas, that is first dynasty, and who are the famous king and the founder. So these are the points now we understood. So next one point now we want to know, so which in which place or how we are getting evidence about Maurya dynasty. So which are the evidence we can see or we can discuss about the Maurya dynasty. So that only now we want to know. So here is saying first one, here is saying that we are getting so much of evidence about the Maurya dynasty. So first one here is saying about Megasthenes Indica. So Megasthenes is the ambassador of Greek. So he came when the Chandragupta Maurya they started to rule. So on that time he visited to India. So on that time he mentioned in Indica, in that book he mentioned about the experience of the kingdom of Maurya dynasty. So what was the experience he got in the dynasty of Maurya dynasty? So that evidence of that information he mentioned in the book of Indica. And not only this one, he is saying later he written there are some other books also, Aryan, Strabo, Dorodus and Pliny. So here also we can see he mentioned some of the points about Chandragupta Maurya and the administrative system and social and religious practice of Maurya dynasty. So these are the evidence we have got in the book of Indica. So this book written by Megasthenes. And second one we can know, that one is Kautilya's Arthashastra. Arthashastra, this book written by Kautilya is the teacher of Chandragupta Maurya. Kautilya is the teacher of Chandragupta Maurya. He have some other names also. One is Chanakya, second one is Vishnugupta. This Kautilya we can call it as a different names. One is Chanakya and second one is Vishnugupta. And he written one of the important book, that book name is Arthashastra. So this book we can get in the language of Sanskrit. And here he mentioned about the administrative system, foreign affairs and judicial duties of kings. So if you want to become a king, so what was the quality you want to maintain, or what was the quality you want to adopt? So these are the points he mentioned in the book of Kautilya's Arthashastra. And not only this one, he written about politics, economy and administration and social. So these are the matters about also he mentioned in Arthashastra book. So that like this is also one of the important evidence about Maurya dynasty. And third one here they are saying, that is Mudrasakshasa. So this Mudrasakshasa written by Vishakadatta. This is Sanskrit book. So in that books also we are getting information about how Chandragupta Maurya expanded his dynasty, or how he has become as a famous king, or how he ruled in the place of Maurya or in the region of Magadha. So these are the information we are getting in the book of, here is saying by Mudrasakshasa. So after that next one books here is saying, that is Dipavamsha and Mahavamsha. So this book two books also came in Sri Lanka. This is Sri Lankan literary. Here also we are getting some of the information about Ashokas. How Ashoka is spread Buddhism in the region of Sri Lanka. How he expanded is the religion of Buddhism. So these are the matters we are getting in the book of Dipamsha and Mahamsha. And another one here they are saying inscriptions of Ashoka. So what was the inscriptions built by Ashoka? So this is also one of the important evidence. We are getting information about what was the administrative power of Ashoka, and we are getting information about how Ashoka spread his dharma. Dharma means his religion of Buddhism after the Kalinga war. And what was the achievements done by Ashokas. So these are the matters we are getting in the place of, here they saying, these like of books or these like of evidence we are getting in Ashoka's inscriptions. What he implemented monuments or coins. So in that we are getting the information. So these are the important evidence. So in that based we can see one of the important dynasty in India, that is Mauryas, and not only this is the first dynasty in India because of based on the evidence. So that like they say. So now we are discussed. So after that now we want to know next one point, that is the famous or the founder of the dynasty, that is Chandragupta Maurya. So here they say Chandragupta Maurya, we already know is the founder of Maurya dynasty. So when the Nanda dynasty dethroned, or when the Nanda dynasty became weak, so after that based on the guidelines of Kautilya, Chandragupta Maurya established by Maurya dynasty. So when Nanda dynasty is declined, so on the time the suggestions or guidelines of the Kautilyas, so on that base Chandragupta Maurya established by his own dynasty in the region of Magadha, that is Maurya dynasty. And next one here is saying, so when he started to rule, so here they are saying on that time the Alexander Seleucus Nictor, he came till Punjab, here is saying in 305 BCE. So Chandragupta Maurya, he battled against Alexander, but finally they both also they done agreement. So based on agreement, peacefully they both also they withdraw the battle. So that way they saying, and we can see on that time Seleucus they got some of the place, for example today's Afghanistan and Balochistan. So these are the place. So after that here they say, moreover another one point also saying he married his daughter to him. Here Chandragupta Maurya, he married his daughter. So that like also they are saying. So in that based we can see Chandragupta Maurya, he become a famous king of Maurya dynasty. And next one we can see based on Jain traditions, here they are saying Chandragupta Maurya, after the death of Chandragupta Maurya, this place came, or this dynasty came under the control of Bindusara, his son. Chandragupta Maurya's son Bindusara, he became king of in this dynasty and is a follower of Jainism. Bindusara is a follower of Jainism. So here saying, so after that later he travelled to Shravanabelagola in Karnataka of some of the other sages or other priests of Jainism. So with the followers of other Jainism, he came to Shravanabelagola. So finally she took Salekana Vrata. So after that he lost his life. So these like saying about the small information about Bindusara. So after the death of Chandragupta Maurya, so Bindusara came to power. So when he came to power, he took the religion of, he practiced the religion of Jainism. But later he inspired the Jainism philosophy. So he came to Shravanabelagola. So he took one of the important practice in Jainism, that is Salekana Vrata. So if anyone, the intention they have to die, so they have the practice that is Salekana Vrata. So he took that one Vrata. So after that he died. So that like they saying about the information about Bindusara. So after the Bindusara, next one we want to know, that is one of the important king in that Maurya dynasty, that is Emperor Ashoka. So Ashoka is one of the important king in Maurya dynasty. He is a son of Bindusara. So that like they say. So in beginning, before he got the post of king, so before that he is the governor in the place of Ujjaini in Takshila. During when the father, that means when the Bindusara started to rule, so on that time Ashoka is the governor of Ujjaini and Takshila place. So after that here is saying, after the death of Bindusara, here is saying Ashoka, he came to rule in the place of Magadha, or in the place of Maurya dynasty. But some of the incidents, some of the stories or some of the evidence they are saying that only some of the incident based we can see, here is saying They have 99 brothers. There are 99 brothers. He killed them. He killed 99 brothers of Ashoka. He killed by 99 brothers. So after that only he got a throne. So that like also some of the evidence we are getting in the place of Maurya dynasty. So he came to post, or he came to throne, or he came to become as a king of the year of 269 BCE, and one of the important war he done, so that is Kalinga war. So this is 8-year war. So after that, when he did the war, so after that he completely changed by the Ashoka. Till that much time he is one of the great warrior before the conducting war of Kalinga war. So when this one war is conducted, so after that he changed his strategies, or he changed his ideology. So we want to know, so what was the incidents happening in this Kalinga war? So here they are saying Ashoka, he in the place of Kalinga, he refused, that means he needed the place of Kalinga, so he battled against the region of Kalinga in the year of 261 BCE. So when this battle done, we are getting evidence in the inscriptions of 13th rock of inscriptions. So in that base of inscriptions we are getting information Ashoka done battle in the place of Kalinga. So this one is 8 years war, and this is one of the historically one of the important war. So that like they saying. So what was the incident happened? So why he changed his strategy or his ideology? Because of here they saying in this battle there are lakhs 50,000 prisoners was taken, and so many of lakhs, 1 lakh above the peoples, they died, and many of them refugees. They lost their shelter at their own. They become physically handicapped, some of them. So when the Ashoka saw this like of incident, so but he won the battle, but when he observed these are the incident, so many people they died, lakhs above the people they died, some of them they permanently handicapped, they become as a permanently handicapped, some of them they refugees, they lost their shelter facility. So when these like of problems, or when these like of situations saw by Ashoka, so he decided I should not do war once again. And once again he said this is a last war on my battlefield. So that like he took the decisions. So after that here is saying he observing the situation and he became very sad. So he took the decision, today onwards I am not doing a war. So after that he inspired by the religion of Buddhism and he converted. So this is the last war of Ashoka's. So that like they say. And he gave a message to the world, that is peace. We want to keep peace. So with peace only we can achieve anything also. So on the best examples given by Ashoka. Next one we want to know, so how Ashoka spread by Buddhism. So here they are saying Ashoka accepted by Buddhism after the war of Kalinga. So we already knowing. So when he converted to, or when he accepted the Buddhism religion, so he given donation to Buddhist. So they built any monarchs or any viharas. So for them that particular infrastructures were only he given donations, money. He given some of the money. And next one here is saying, and Ashoka declared that all the citizens of in the dynasty, so they are our children. So we want to take the responsibility, and they given here is saying, and not only this one, we want to keep loyalty. And we want to give respect to parents and elders and gurus. So these like of good values is spread in overall is dynasty. And next one here is saying, and he told one of the important statement also, live and let live. So we want to should live, and others also they want to live. So that like, and poor and slaves were also he given some of the importance. They also given some of the donations for them also he given. And he appointed one of the important officer. So the officer name here they given Dharma Mahamantra, because of to preach the principles of Buddhism. So what was the Buddhism? The Buddha, what was the eightfold path, what he given? So that only we want to should follow. So how we want to follow? So how people they want to get the awareness. So in that purpose only he appointed by Dharma Mahamantra. And so what was the inscriptions he built in his own dynasty. So in that inscriptions and also he given so much of importance about Buddhism principles, and he started to preach in that inscriptions in also. And here is saying he sent one of the Rakshita is one of the important person is sent to Banavasi, and another person Mahadeva is sent to Mahisha Mandala, that means in Mysuru. So because of to spread a Buddhism. And not only this one, his son Rahula and daughter Sangamitra also is sent to Sri Lanka to spread the religion of Buddhism. So that like they saying, and held one of the important Buddhist conference in the year of 200 BCE in the place of Pataliputra because of to expand the religion of Buddhism. So these so when after the Kalinga war done, so effects of the Kalinga war, he fully changed his ideology or his personality. So he given so much of importance about loyalty, values and Buddhism religion for only given so much of importance. So on that based, he appointed some of the ministers, and not only this one, he given donation to monasteries or viharas, and he sent some of the peoples to spread of Buddhism religion. So this he expanded Buddhist religion in overall India and overall world also. And next one we want to know Ashoka's inscriptions. So why we want to study about Ashoka's inscriptions? Because of Ashoka is called as the father of inscriptions. Because of what was the inscriptions we are getting in India, in that maximum inscriptions the period of Ashokas. So that's why here they saying is the father of inscriptions. And we can till today we can read that one inscription. That much of good qualities inscriptions we can see by in the period of Ashokas. So here they saying in 1837 British officer James Prinsep, so he described Ashoka's inscriptions as the first time. He is saying is given titles also, that is Devanam Priya and Priyadarshini. So when they read this one Devanam Priya and Priyadarshini, so after that, so they thought that this is one of the important person, that they thought. But later Charles Braden of British engineer, so when he read another inscription in the place of Raichur in the year of 1915, so in that they got the information as a Devanam Priya Priyadarshini Ashoka. So when they got this of Devana Priya Priyadarshini Ashoka, so after that they declared that Devana Priya and Priyadarshini both also one person, that is Ashoka. Till that much time they believed that Devana Priya means that is separate and Priyadarshini means they are separate. But when in 1915, so when they got another inscription in the place of Raichuru, so they decided that this Devana Priya Ashoka means Devana Priya Priyadarshini is Ashoka. So that they started to believe. So they got so much of inscriptions. So in that inscriptions they mentioned Devanam Priya Priyadarshini and Devanam Priya Priyadarshini Ashoka. So that's why we called Ashoka as the father of inscriptions. So these are the important points about the major kings of Maurya dynasty. So first one we have discussed about Chandragupta Maurya, second one Bindusara, and third one Ashoka. So next one we want to know, so what was the economic condition and social condition and administrative condition in the period of Maurya dynasty. So here they say, so we got so much of evidence, so on that based on evidence, here they saying based on economic system, so here they saying Maurya dynasty, they given so much of importance about canal system. During in this period, they given so much of importance about irrigation facility, that means to provide a water for agriculture purpose. So in that purpose only they built dams, some of the reservoirs. Here they say Sudarshan Sarovar also built by in the place of Gujarat. And not only this one, they expanded their irrigation system based on canal structures. They expanded their irrigation facility because of to expand or to give a increase to agriculture purpose. And we can say on that time in agriculture activities for only they used slave system. And not only this one, and here Maurya dynasty peoples are the kingdom, they appointed as an officer to collect a tax. So for them they given name as a Samartha and Siddhanta. So these both also they are collecting a land tax. And not only this one, we can see here the metal alloy. So this also peoples they knowing how we can use. So in marketing place also peoples they used these are the metals, that means alloys. And next one here is saying we can see in that place they built by road structure also, because of what they produced by the peoples they want to send they want to sell to other cities. So in that purpose only they given importance about road constructions of road also. We can see some of the roads here they say some of the important cities on the time Pataliputra they built there are one of the good infrastructure road. And not only this one, on the time the major road is Nepal passing through Vaishali and Champaranya from Pataliputra. So this is also one of the important road constructed by Maurya dynasty. And highway of Takshila to Kusumbi passing. So this was one of the important, and Delhi and Punjab. So these are the important places they built by some of the highways or roads because of peoples or merchants who are the traders. So they want to take their goods too easily. They want to carry easily that one place to another place. So in that purpose only they built by some of the roads. And next one here they say, and Kanchu mark, that means silver coins also they used in the place of Maurya dynasty. That is a currency. So on that time that is Kanchu. So that like we can see about economic conditions of Maurya dynasty, and we can see that is urbanized peoples or urbanized practiced or urbanized society we can see in the place of Maurya dynasty. And second one we want to know, that is social system. So when we are discussing about the social system, we want to know here caste based Vedic period we can see in the period of Maurya dynasty. In this period the Varna system also peoples they are practiced. So if any higher class Varnas are there, they can migrate, they can convert to another Varna. So this like a facility they given only for 2 Varnas. So already we are knowing there are 4 Varnas: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Shudra, Vaishya. So in that here is saying Brahmana and Kshatriya they have the most powers, so they can migrate one Varnas to another Varna. So this like a facility they are given to Brahmana and Kshatriya. And next one here is saying, so in that time peoples they practiced by caste system also. So Megasthenes when they written by Indica's book, so in that book he mentioned about there are 7 castes we can see in Maurya dynasty or Maurya society. So that like he mentioned, that means we can see in that period Varna system as well as caste system. So both also we can see in this place. And here is saying Buddhist. So what they given the evidence, so in that evidence also we are getting information. So on that time caste system are exits. So that like we are getting the information. And here we can see on the time slaves and dasas also we can see. So Indica, this books also giving information about. So on that time they practiced by slaves and dasas. And not only this one, here is saying some of the slavers here is saying they came Greek and Roman societies. Some of the slaves we sent to Greek and Roman societies. And Shudras, they are the last Varnas, only for them we are given only work of agriculture work. So that means we want to know, so in this period of Maurya dynasty also we can see Varna system. Class based systems we can see in the period of Maurya dynasty. So after that next one, here they are given administrative system. So here we can see in Maurya dynasty that is centralized administration system. That means only your most powerful person in Maurya dynasty, that is king. So king only your some of most powerful person. And not only this one, here is saying some of the officials also they are appointed because of to give a suggestions. And they want to give good network to people. So in that purpose only they appointed some of the ministers also. So we can see some of the officials are ministers, priests, prince and generals. So for them also they given highest subordinating post of the king. So after the king post they given as a minister, priest, prince and generals. So these like he divided, he given a post for officials. And not only this one, the Maurya dynasty they divided as a provinces because of to expand to establish a good administration. So in that purpose only they divided by kingdoms as a provinces. And in that time we can see some of the important cities also. So Takshila, Ujjaini, Dhauli, next one Suvarnagiri and Girina. So these are the important regional administration center. Means some of the sub branch, some divisional officers they were in the place of these regions. And officials like here they given Rajuku, just means justice officer, Yukta, information recorder officer. So these like of officers also we can see in the place of regional administrative centers. And next one here is saying here Pataliputra, this is one of the important administrative place. So here they established it by there are 6 committees of the officials. So because of here is saying for the administrative purpose. And each committee also they have 13 officials. So this like of administrative systems we can see in the place of Maurya dynasty, that is centralized administrative system. But sometimes they they appointed some of the officials to provide a good administration. Minister, priest, next princes and generals. And they divided some of the place as a provinces and they appointed as a regional administrative centers also. Officers also they appointed in this region. And next one we want to know, that is art and architectures of Maurya dynasty. The Maurya dynasty, they given importance about art and architecture also. We can see this one evidence also. One of the best evidence, Megasthenes Indica. So in that book scene, they mentioned as a Pataliputra, this one of the important place, they built Maurya's palace in the place of Pataliputra. So that way they say. And not only this one, some of the excavation time. So when we see or when we evidence we got in earth inside also, in earth crust. So the on the time also we got some of the evidence about the architecture and art of the Maurya dynasty in the place of Pataliputra. So this only they saying they are given so much of importance about art and architecture also. And Ashoka stupas and pillars also some of the important examples because of they given importance about architecture. And one of the important contribution, that is Sanchi. So they built one of the biggest stupa in the place of Sanchi. So this is one of the important contribution of Maurya dynasty. And we can see 30 pillars we can found in this place. And we can see image of lion and ox. So this was one of the important structures we can see in that pillars. And our national emblems, what we are saying, the 4 lions of the head. So this also we got in Ashoka Sarnath's pillar. So this only we took as we adapted as our national emblem. So this also contribution of Maurya dynasty. And not only this one, we can see rock cut caves also we can see in Barhil Hills. And his son, here they given Dashratha, he built a rock cut caves in the place of Nagaruni Hills. So these like the art and architecture for also the Maurya dynasty, they given so much of contribution. So these are the important points about Maurya dynasty. So after the Maurya dynasty, next another important dynasty we want to know, that is Kushanas. So after here they saying, so Kushanas also one of the important dynasty based on history and the culture, based on history and culture, this is one of the important dynasty. And they also given, Kushanas also given so much of contribution about to spread a Buddhism religion. And next one here they say Mahayana sect, they received so much of importance on the time of Kushanas dynasty. In that time, Buddhist in one of the important sect, that is Mahayana, they took importance. Means these kings, they patronized or they given encourage to Mahayana sect. And Gandhara sculpture style. So this style invented by, this style introduced by Kushanas. So this is one of the new style introduced by Kushanas. So that like they say. And now we want to know, so who is Kushanas? That means, so where onwards they came? So here they say Kushanas are basically tribes. They are tribes. So here they are saying they migrated to India in the place of Central Asia. They came in the place of region of Central Asia. Central Asia too, they migrated to India. So that let's say, and commonly and basically they are a Yuchi. So that like they say, and Sakas and Pratyars, here they say their foreign communities, they also settled in the place of northwestern part of India. So when the Kushanas means when they came in Central Asia, so on the time here India in some of the peoples gather, as some of the groups of the peoples we can see, that is here they say Sakas and Pratyaras. So when the peoples of Kushanas, when they came, so these one Sakas and Pratyaras, and they battled against this group and they defeated and they settled in India and established by their own region, that is Gandhara region. So these like Kushana dynasty established in India. That means now we want to know Kushanas, they are not basically Indians, they came in Central Asia. So when they came here, some of the groups of people they settled in northwestern India, that is Sakas and Pratyaras. So they battled against this group, two group against also. Finally they won the battle and they settled in Gandhara region. So that like they say. And next one we want to know, who is the founder of Kushana dynasty? So here they are saying the founder of Kushana dynasty is Kujala Confucius, and we can see one of the important kings here. Here they given Vimala Confucius and Kanishka. So both also important kings in Kushana's dynasty. And next one here is saying the Yuchis, that means the Kushanas, already we are knowing they are basically tribes. So that's why here is saying under the leadership of Kujala Confucius, the Yuchis they started to rule in the place of Gandhara regions. And next one here is saying after that he crossed the region of Hind Kush range and they settled in Kabul and Kashmir. with the leader of Vimalkantvisas. And when the Vimalkantvisas started to rule, so on that time the peoples they practiced use coins as a gold. Peoples they knowing how to make as a gold coin. So they have the awareness. So that's why on that base we can see peoples they used as a gold coins. And next one here they say, and they use not only the gold coins, and we can say as another one coin that is copper. Copper and gold. So both also used by Kushana dynasty peoples. And after the Vimalakantvisas, another important king came, that is Kanishka. So Kanishka is one of the important king in Kushana's dynasty, as he expanded by his dynasty as a very large. And here is saying he came in the year of 78 CE, and when he expanded his dynasty, this became as a new era, a new period. So that only they given him as a Shaka era or Shaka period. And Kanishka here is saying he spread his dynasty Sanchi and south in Banaras, south in Sanchi and east in Banaras. Still that much areas he covered. And not only this one, including Central Asia also captured by Kanishka. So that means this is one of the vast empire of Kanishkas. And he adapted as one of the place as the capital, that is Purushapura. And another important city on that time, that is Mathura. Mathura is one of the important city in the period of Kushana's time. And Kanishka, he patronized once again the religion of Buddhism. So that's why on the time the peoples are the religion of Buddhism spread in overall India, especially in Central Asia. So in that regions is spread by Buddhism. And on that time one of the important scholar also came, that is Ashwagosha. So and not only this one, another name given Vasumitra and Sangaraksha, some others also. So they came in this period only. So when they came, the religion of Buddhism is become very popularity. So that means the contribution of Kanishka. So that's why Buddhism religion spread in overall the Central Asia. So that way they say. And here also Buddhist conference held in the period of Kanishka's time in the place of, here they given in the place of Kashmir, at the leaders under the leadership of Kanishkas, like Ashoka. So how they send, here they saying their missionaries or their peoples or their Buddhist followers to spread their religion, that means Buddhist religion, to the world. So same way Kanishka also, he also took leadership, and he also sent some of the members, important scholars, to Central Asia and China because of to spread a Buddhism. And not only this one, in this Kushana dynasty, they have given more contribution about art and architecture also. So one of the best example already we discussed, that is Gandhara style. So this Gandhara style structures, this style introduced by Kushanas. So this only we can see they also given so much of importance about art and architecture. So these are the important points about Kushanas. So in this video we are discussed about, there are two important dynasty. One is Mauryas, second one is Kushanas. So Maurya is the first dynasty. So after the Maurya dynasty, another important dynasty came in India. So that is Kushanas. So these are the important points. So next class we can discuss about next another important topic.